something whenever I sign on to do a live now. There's some new message from YouTube. See if anybody jumps in. I don't think I've ever gone live on a Sunday afternoon. I know a lot of people are out, enjoying their weekend. Not sitting around watching YouTube live, so all right, got a few people jumping in. Give me a minute here. We'll wait for a few more people to get in here. I'm also gonna bring it up on my end. Oh, okay, numbers just jumped up a lot. That's good. Just 1 minute, everybody. There it is. Okay, hold on. It's making me watch a commercial for Upwork, whatever that is. Hey, Austin Powers. Thanks for joining me. Love Pink Hello Kitty. How you doing? And I need to, my wife keeps pointing out to me every time I do a live stream, I need to start wearing my glasses when I do these live streams. I'm always, the text is so small on my computer and I'm trying to read everybody's stuff so fast and I keep mispronouncing names and and reading stuff wrong. So sorry about that. Austin, it definitely has, and we'll get to that in just a second. Break time, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Larry. How you doing? So let me just, hey, Jeff Steiner, how are you? All right, so I'm going to stop reading for a minute and I'm just going to talk about why I'm going live. First of all, I usually just go live once a week. I already went live this week, so I don't normally go live twice in a week. And I don't know if I've ever gone live on a Sunday afternoon. I don't think I usually do that because I know that a lot of people are out just doing stuff, running errands or whatever, living their life on a Sunday. So I wouldn't usually go live. But also, I don't normally talk about when celebrities pass. Usually, if a celebrity that was very relevant in the 80s or 90s passes away, I will post something that they've done, but I won't really talk about the death because, like I've said before, I just like to keep the channel light and fun, and so I try not to focus on that. But in the last few days, we have had multiple celebrities pass away that did a lot in the 80s and 90s. I won't say that they were, necessarily just 80s celebrities, but they were very, they had a big impact on the 80s and 90s. And so since there were quite a few, I thought, you know what, I got to mention this. It's been a lot. So I'm going to just really quick talk about the people that passed away and, as a way to pay tribute to them. So I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget anything, even though that's not a lot of information. But starting with Benji Gregory, who actually passed away back in June, but we didn't find out about it until a couple of days ago. And he, of course, played Brian on the TV show Alf, which was one of my favorite TV shows of the 80s, a hilarious TV show. He was the son, the youngest child, Alf's best buddy, and that's probably what he was most famous for. He did appear in a few other TV shows and movies throughout the 80s. He was on a couple episodes of Punky Brewster and Amazing Stories, but everyone would remember him as Brian on Alf. And yeah, he sadly was found in his car with his dog. He had already passed away, and they're thinking that he died of heat stroke, that he fell asleep in his car and died from the heat. Very, very sad. I think he was 46, I believe. So just a little older than me, way too young to be dying. That's funny because I always talk about how old I am, but then when you look at it from that point of view, it's definitely way too young to die. So very sad. And then on July 11th, we lost Shelley Duvall, who, of course, I'm seeing everybody. I've been seeing a lot of people posting about her on social media, and everybody is, of course, talking about The Shining. That's, probably what she's most remembered for. So everyone's talking about that. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Popeye, and I'm seeing people talk about fairy tale theater. I haven't really seen anybody mention Roxanne, which she was Steve Martin's friend, like best friend in Roxanne. And very sad that she passed away. Like I said, of course, everyone remembers her from The Shining. I gotta say, nobody would have been a better choice to play Olive Oyl in Popeye. That was the best casting ever. She absolutely killed it, and no one could have done a better job. And so very, very sad that we lost her. She had been going through, over the years, a lot of different mental health problems and other health problems. And so very sad. And then that was July 11th. The very next day, on July 12th, we lost Dr. Ruth, who her career actually began in 1980. She was 52 years old, and that's when her media career began. She had a radio show in New York. Later, like in the mid-'80s, she had a show on Lifetime. Throughout the 80s, she appeared on lots of different shows like Hollywood Squares, Arsenio Hall, Joan Rivers, all kinds of different talk shows. She was, of course, a sex therapist that tried to help couples. Appeared in so much stuff. She appeared on an episode of Quantum Leap, different movies and whatnot. She lived a very long and I'm assuming fulfilled life. And then on July 13th, the very next day, so the 11th, we lost Shelley Duvall. The 12th, we lost Dr. Ruth. The 13th, we lost Richard Simmons. Of course, everyone knows who Richard Simmons is. He went into hiding many years ago, and people have suspected that he was already deceased. But apparently not, because 911 was called to his house and they found him there deceased. Of course, Richard Simmons was the fitness guru who in the 80s he did all of the Sweatin' to the Oldies videos. I know my mom had at least one of those. And she also had the Richard Simmons Deal-A-Meal. If you guys remember that, it was a thing that he made it was like a pouch with cards, and you would move the cards around when you would eat your meal, and each card had a point. It was this whole thing. But beyond that, he also appeared in different movies and TV shows throughout the 80s and 90s, and even beyond that too. He appeared in an episode of Chips. He appeared in an episode of Fame. In the 90s, he appeared on an episode of the TV show Dinosaurs, where he was the voice of the Richard Simmons dinosaur. I don't remember that. He also had his own studio in Hollywood, and I remember I have this friend Aaron who when we met, he told me that him and his mom sometimes go to Richard Simmons' studio because his mom, I guess, was, I never met her, but I guess he said she was a little overweight. So they would go to the studio together. And he said Richard Simmons was almost always there. And he said he was just the nicest. He was exactly what you would see on TV. He was the nicest person, just so caring and sweet to everybody. And I was jealous. I was like, you know what? I want to go with you to meet Richard Simmons. And so I was going to go with him one time. And it was shortly after that that he just all of a sudden shut down his studio and went into hiding. And everyone thought that was really suspicious because he loved his studio and loved being there to help people. And he all of a sudden went into hiding. I don't think anyone will ever really know exactly what happened there. But yeah, very sad. Personally, I know a lot of people have made fun of Richard Simmons over the years. Howard Stern, made a whole thing out of making fun of Richard Simmons, although I think it was out of love. Howard and Richard did have a friendship, and I think Howard did love Richard Simmons. A lot of people have made fun of him. I thought Richard Simmons was awesome, and personally, I feel like the world needs more people like Richard Simmons, more people that are just fun and outgoing and happy and positive and want to help other people. It's people like Richard Simmons and Mr. Rogers and Bob Ross and LeVar Burton. It's people like that that I think make this world a better place. And I think the world, it's a great loss with Richard Simmons passing. And then finally, hopefully, actually passed away, I believe, on the same day as Richard Simmons, but we didn't hear about it until today, July 14th, but she passed away on July 13th. We lost Shannen Doherty, who, of course, everybody knows from Beverly Hills 90210. That's, I think, what she would be most famous for, right? I mean, I think, but she also was on Little House on the Prairie. She appeared on episodes of Magnum P.I. She was in Heathers as one of the Heathers. She appeared on 21 Jump Street. And then also, of course, the TV show Charmed. She was, I want to say she was a big part of the 90s, but, as I just said, her career was before and beyond the 90s. So, but I think the 90s probably was maybe when she was at her, most well-known. Just extremely, extremely sad to lose all of these people. It's so sad to see so many loved people from the 80s and 90s pass away in just a few days. And so, all I can say is rest in peace to all of them. And I'm so sorry to their family and all of their fans out there who loved them. So that's all. I just felt like I had to say something. I'm going to kind of go back up here and read some of your stuff. Yeah, I'm not really good at this stuff. I don't really know what to, I get sad and I don't know what to say sometimes, but I felt like I had to say something because, this channel is about the 80s and the 90s, and all of these people had a big impact on the 80s and 90s. And so I felt like I had to just pay respects to them and say thank you for all that you added to the best decade ever. Let's see here. Legacy 10 Productions, keep up the great work. Kurt from Woodland Hills, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it. Retro Man Randy Savage, I was gutted to hear about the passing of Shannen and Richard. Yes, very sad. "2024 has been crazy. Lost my mom in March because of cancer. Cancer has been taking over." I'm very sorry to hear that. My condolences to you. Austin Power says, I love how your channel serves as escapism from all the BS going on in the world. Well, Austin, that's definitely what I'm trying for. So I'm glad that it does do that for some people. Thank you. Alex says, rest in peace, Shannen. Love Pink Hello Kitty, mentioning Dr. Ruth. Yes, I really do wear this hat out in public, and thank you for bringing it up. Oh, I see. We got a couple of trolls in here. Oh. People saying I loved Alf. Popeye was the best. So I'm just going to kind of I want to quickly scroll through and I kind of mention a few of your things. I know that the whole time I was talking, it was just, the chat was going. Crosswalk Larry, good to see you. He says he was watching Shining a couple nights ago in tribute. I'm sure a lot of people did. Retro Man Randy Savage, yes. Grim Life Collective did get to do an interview with Shelley, and yeah, she was looking a little rough. She had gone through some rough times for sure. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of jump back down here towards the bottom. There's just too much for me to get through. Broken Scene Vid says, I'm still mourning Pee-wee. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. I mean, I'm still mourning Prince too. So, yeah, it's hard. We're constantly losing people that we know and people that we don't know, but people that we feel an attachment to because their work meant so much to our lives. And when we were younger, every once in a while, celebrities would die that meant something to us. Like for me, John Candy passing away was really hard. Eazy-E passing away. Trying to think who else. Sam Kinison. But it was every once in a while. And as we get older, I mean, here you go, 5 in 1 week. So it's sad that as we get older, more and more. Thank you, everyone who's telling people to thumbs up and give it a like. Appreciate it. Only know Shannen from Heathers, which is a classic movie. Wow. She's in so much other stuff, but I mean, nothing wrong with knowing her from Heathers. Great movie. Kurt, your videos are so awesome. I look forward to all of them. Your video on different strokes was fantastic. Thank you so much. Hey, Vinny. How are you? I hope your Sunday's good as well. Yeah, so guess I'll move on to other things. If you guys didn't see, I just posted a video the other day on filming locations for an episode of Different Strokes, which I was pretty excited about because I love that show, and I didn't really think I'd be able to do a filming locations video because, shot on a soundstage, but then I remembered, hey, one of my favorite episodes was shot in the real world, and I had a lot of trouble putting that video together. I finally switched to a new editing software, and that editing software ended up having more problems than what I was using before. And so the final product had a few glitches in it. You guys might have heard some noise, some little pops in the audio, and a few things. Stuff that wasn't a big deal, but it bothered me. But overall, I thought it was a cool video. So I'm glad that the video did kind of well, and I think some people enjoyed it. Hey, Checkbound, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Hey there, Kurt. Could you please share your P.O. Box details? I'll send that Prince issue of Q Magazine that I mentioned last week. I randomly caught Paul Rubens as the Prince of Austria on the 30 Rock channel. Oh, yes, I've seen that. It's hilarious. Again, I didn't plan on going live, so I don't have my little sign with me with my P.O. Box info. Please shoot me an email at 80slifeforever@gmail.com with the number 4. So 80slifeforever@gmail.com, and I'll get it to you. I should have it memorized by now, and I kind of do, but I don't want to give you the wrong stuff. And then, yeah, I got a couple of other videos, of course, coming up in the next week. I got like a concert review video coming up, a theme park related video, but I'm also working on a couple of other TV show filming locations that will be out soon, a couple of movie filming locations that will be out soon, hopefully this month. All right, just kind of going through a lot of people, of course, just paying their respects to everyone who passed away. Love Pink Hello Kitty. I saw that about the Shannen Doherty podcast. There's no way I'd be able to listen to that. It'd just be too heartbreaking. Ron, thank you so much for the love on the Chips videos. I've got to do another Chips video soon. Don't worry, those will never stop. Katrina says, I think Todd is the only original one left from Different Strokes. Yeah, from the first season, he is the only one left. And then I think from the show in general, it would be like him and Pearl and Dudley and Sam, I believe, like from the entire series, not counting some of the other, guest stars and whatnot. All right, everybody. With that, I think I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I didn't really plan on doing this live. It was just kind of spur of the moment. Wanted to jump on and pay my respects to everybody that passed away. So with that being said, thank you all so much for joining me on this Sunday afternoon. And thank you all for your continued support. Keep an eye out for the new videos that are coming. Thank you all for jumping in here. A lot of familiar faces. Love Pink Hello Kitty. My pleasure. Thank you for jumping on and hanging out. Crosswalk Larry. So many of you. And so many new people too. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It is Sunday, right? Have a great rest of your week. Keep an eye out for the new videos, and I will see you all soon. And let's hope that that's the end of the celebrity passings for a while. let's hope for some positivity in the near future. All right, everyone. Be good to each other, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.